pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're here for Ann Glick regarding 90 Washington Avenue to permit the construction, maintenance, and use of an extended driveway. Notice is hereby given that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Village of Suffern will conduct a public hearing on Thursday, November 17, 2022 at 7:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as possible at the Suffern Village Hall, 61 Washington Avenue, Suffern, New York, 10901, on an appeal by Ann Glick of 9 Hillside Avenue, Suffern, New York, 10901, to permit the construction, maintenance, and use of an extended driveway at 90 Washington Avenue, Suffern, New York. The approval of such an appeal requires variances from the requirements of Section 266-15G2 of the General Use Requirements and Section 266-23, Row 2R-5, Column 9 of the General Bulk Regulations of the Zoning Law of the Village of Suffern. The applicant is proposing a variance to allow for 2.6 feet from the required 5 feet for off-street parking in the side yard and an area variance of the maximum development coverage of 56% to 47% existing from the maximum development coverage of 35%. The premises affected are situated on the east side of Washington Avenue and is approximately 50 feet east from the intersection of Oliver Street and is listed on the Village of Suffern and Town of Ramapo tax maps as Section 54.52, lot number 1-3. If we hear from Ann,
Yes.
raise your right hand. Swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Go ahead.
Well, you have the documents there. If you look at the survey, you know, I tried to explain, I didn't know how to do this in a better way. If we are looking at the house, this is Washington Avenue. Right now, I do have gravel here and bushes, very old bushes that cover the front of the house. My plan is to remove bushes, put grass in the area that I painted in green. And then I have an old grass in the right side next to, I guess this is 88 Washington? 88 Washington. But this is grass, all mixed with gravel. So if I can put driveway, blacktop on this area, I will be able to give 2 parking spaces to my tenants. Because during the winter time, and there is snow, you know, they don't have a place where to park. And, well, that's my plan. It's only this is smaller for 2 cars. I cannot go all the way around, several reasons. I don't have, I guess I already built enough in the property. I cannot use any more driveway. Number 2, the house extends a little bit here, so there's no way I can put a car through. And so this is what I'm requesting, this area to be parking for 2 cars, and I will build green right in front of the house with a tree in it, you know, whenever it's possible. Aesthetically, it's going to look much better, I think, removing the old bushes.
What about, I just have a quick question. Yeah. What about along, so the driveway at the front is not going to go up to the chain link fence? The width of it is not going to go to the chain link fence, or it is?
Yeah.
It does go to the chain link fence?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. But there is driveway also next, you know, there is a fence and there is driveway on the next house.
On the other side? Okay.
Yeah.
But okay.
Anybody Anybody have questions for it?
Yeah,
Open the
I
public
do.
No,
hearing.
no, 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 hold on.
You have to come
I
up.
meant for the board.
Oh, please, sorry. For the board, anybody got any questions for?
We see a...
Hold it.
Okay.
Not yet. Anybody from the board have any questions? Yeah?
No question, but I did go over and I check out the property. It looks nice, and what she's planning to do, removing the bushes and put a driveway, makes sense because the house next to it, 92 Washington, was the upper parking. So it makes sense, probably increase the value in the neighborhood also. That's what I think.
Can we open the public portion?
Yeah.
Before I have a question.
Yeah.
For the proposed driveway, for the proposed parking area, I don't want to call it a driveway, parking area,
Parking.
is it your intention that cars will either pull in or back in, but they will be straight in as opposed to parking sideways?
Yeah, and they can't do sideways.
Can't go.
They have to go in and back out, yes.
So then, if the person who pulls in first,
Mhm.
how do they get out if the person behind
Well,
them?
it's the same family. It will be for apartment one on the first floor. And many times in many houses, sometimes I have to move because someone in my family parked behind me, so it won't be an inconvenience for another family or another person.
Thank you.
Motion to open
All
the
right,
public
thank you.
portion.
A motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Anybody want to speak in the public hearing?
Can we
You want to come up?
Yeah.
Come up. You can sit down, Andy.
Thank you.
Yeah, can we see the...
Do you
Just raise your right
hold
hand.
State your name.
Randall Erickson,
Your address.
92 Washington Ave?
Okay, swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I'd like to see this and see what we're doing here. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so let's see what you're talking about. Right, okay.
Does anybody else have?
I can,
Come
while
on.
I'm looking,
Come on.
can we stand up?
Swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Yeah.
Lisa Wilson, I live on East Multi. I came, last time was Zoom. But what she's proposing is, first of all, we're still encouraging parking in the front yard, which is not allowed, which was why we fought against what she had blacktopped and now pulled up and still has gravel. I do want to mention that occasionally there are cars still parking in the gravel. I see them there. Not very often, but I do see them there. My other issue is that to create this new driveway, you're going to allow her to make another curb cut in front of her property. So now we're going to set a precedent that we can have 2 curb cuts on a parcel. So when the next guy comes and wants to put in a driveway that goes all the way around or what have you, how do we argue against, no, you get 1 curb cut per parcel, otherwise we're going to have circular driveways and God knows what.
Thank you. No, you can't speak.
I don't know, actually, if you wanted to say something.
Okay,
Well, they know this is going to be right up against our...
What's your name?
my name is Heidi Zabriskie Erickson. I'm the homeowner at 92 Washington
Raise your
Ave.
right hand, swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do. Okay, I do have a problem with that driveway being put in next to my fence there. There's a driveway on the other side of the house. There's vehicles that are parking behind the house. There's vehicles that park
Wow.
off to the side of the house. Okay, I don't understand why additional parking is required. There's a driveway on the other side that they can park in if they really wanted to. Okay, that driveway is in existence with the house next to them. If you go look at the house, there is a driveway from both sides there for those 2 houses. So I don't know why another driveway needs to be brought up against my house over there. Okay?
Okay.
It is only a 2-family house, or supposed to be a 2-family house, so how many vehicles can there be? In the backyard right now, I think there's 4 or 5 vehicles parked, along with the vehicles that are off to the side of the house and that park in front of the house. So I would count that there's probably about 6 to 8 vehicles at
this point.
How many rental units are there in there?
There's supposed to be 2 families
Is it
over.
No, no,
How many?
ma'am, you don't ask her
I'm sorry,
questions.
sorry.
So that is my problem. I think that should stay as green land right there and not be paved again.
Okay, thank you very much. Can we ask a question?
Of course.
And,
Yeah, of course.
all right, how many families, Mrs.
2 families,
How many people?
12.
12
and-
people?
12 and 6, yeah. The
18?
The second floor apartment has 6 bedrooms.
And then there's an
It's
attic.
a 2-level. It's a third level connected to the second level. The second floor apartment is a 2-level, it's a 2-level.
What, do you use the attic?
I'm sorry?
You use the attic?
Mhm.
The attic was converted into a 3rd floor,
It's a lot of people.
and it's part of the second floor, yes.
How many cars are there?
There are supposed to be 3. The driveway that is on the left of the house is an easement. It's shared with 88. So it's not an area that I can use as driveway. Sometimes there are cars, sometimes there are not.
Well, you use the park in the backyard, right?
Yeah, they do. The upstairs uses the back.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Before you do, the young lady in the back is here for the hearing. I don't know if you want to ask her.
You want anything, you want to say anything?
No.
No? Okay, thank you. Motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Okay. You guys want any more questions?
I have a few questions. I unfortunately did not get a chance to get over to the property. I'm familiar with the property, but I didn't get a real good chance to look at all the area of the property, what's happening in the back and on the other side. But my first question is something that Bruce brought up about the one car being behind the other car. I'm in a situation where I see people just park anywhere on the property. They don't even park on the driveway. They'll just, oh, it's snowing, I'll just pull anywhere in the property, and then over time, it's nothing but mud. The grass becomes mud. And if you have a person here, my only concern is what's going to prevent them from just saying, oh, I'm just going to back out and go onto the whatever surface there is. That is my only concern. And then these hedges too, if you're planning to remove all the hedges on the property.
You're talking about the bushes?
The bushes.
Yes.
Yes, because that is a big hazard, trying to back out and you can't see what's coming. And I'm sure Washington
No,
Avenue
no.
has a lot of strollers, people walking.
Yeah.
If that's, you know,
Right. That's what I said, I'm gonna remove the bushes.
all those
All
bushes
the
that are
bushes.
going down the side
Right.
and in the front.
Yeah, yeah.
They're all gonna go.
They're all gonna go. And yes, I know that the lady downstairs, she is supposed, right now, she is supposed to be parking right in front of the house. And I have seen her, sometimes she puts half of the car in the gravel area. I have told her not to, but I can't be there every day. But once I put grass here and stones or something, brick around it, she won't be able to do that.
All right, so
And
you
then
can
she
put
will-
something to
Right,
prevent that.
to prevent that, and then she can park a car here and the other car behind, instead of going here in the middle of the house, or in front of the house.
So the driveway that you share with 88, that's a complete share?
It's an easement, yes, and I'm not supposed to park cars there, however, they are parking cars there, and that prevents, my tenants to go in and out, or her to park here because, they are parking 2 cars, but that's another, that's an issue that I have to correct with a lawyer, not with the town. Because we are supposed to be going through, in and out that driveway, however, they are parking there. The owner is never there.
It looks like, from the map, it looks like it's a half, like the driveway was put in so that people could go in on each house and then park in the back, not you know, a traditional driveway
Not
where you
to
would park.
but they are parking there. They have 2 cars parked every day.
Right, but it's shown on the survey, that it
It
has.
shows that a car could go around.
No, I'm saying it shows the easement.
Oh, an easement.
That's there.
Yeah.
Will people still be parking in the back? On-
Yes, in the back, there are the apartments upstairs, and in the front, those 2 spaces that I want to put will be the 2 girls downstairs.
So you're saying they're using both driveways? You'll be using both driveways? And they'll be parking in the back?
Right?
Is
But
that
the-
paved
now-
in the back? Is it paved in the back?
No, gravel.
Gravel.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to go and look
Yeah.
at the whole.
It's driveway a little bit, but the other side is gravel because I can't cover anymore. And also, something I don't want to mention, like 50 years ago, people used to have 1 car in the family. Nowadays, sometimes there is more cars than people in the houses. In my house, we are 3 and we have 4 cars in my personal house. So, and many people is going through the same thing. Everyone has a car. There is something that we cannot change or control.
Anybody else?
Can I ask another question?
Public hearing's closed, if you want to reopen it. it's up to you.
Okay, hold on. We'll reopen the public hearing.
Motion to reopen?
Okay.
Okay, I have another question. For a 2-family house or 2-family residence, how many parking spots should there be? In a single-family home, I understand there are multiple vehicles. There's multiple vehicles in the place there also. But how many do they really need? There is parking out in front of the house on the street. Okay, maybe granted in the wintertime, you're not allowed to park there. But how many vehicles, with what she said of how many people live in the house, isn't that an overkill as far as allowing that many people to live in that house?
The number of people in the house is a separate issue in terms of, presumably she has the appropriate.
But that also
Let me finish,
affects the
man.
parking.
Let me finish, man.
That affects the
Let
parking.
me finish, okay.
So-
The appropriate certificate of occupancy for the number of rooms, et cetera. The parking is a different issue. What you're talking about here is simply the coverage. It's about whether or not parking needs to be 5 feet off the line. She's proposing it to be 2.5 feet, and that's what this board is here for. And development coverage is supposed to be 35%. She's proposing 56%.
Okay, now my
That's what
other
this
question-
board is here to decide, whether or
Can I
not
ask
they
one
can
more
vary that.
question? If the parking is allowed there and the fence gets run into and gets damaged, who's going to pay for that? I'm not putting it through my homeowner's insurance. And I know that her renters are not very clean people or very cautious when it comes to my side of the property. If you come down there and actually walk around, you'll see stuff stored outside of the house, furniture and stuff that has been there for months and months and months. I'm sorry, I've lived there 20-some odd years now, and I'm really upset at what's happening in the area.
Thank you.
Can I come out again?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
So the last time we had this hearing, one of the variances that she was asking for was parking in the front yard, and that was denied, but yet she's coming back asking to park in the front yard again. And I think everybody's overlooking the fact that she's going to create a second curb cut. And that's, I'm always worried about setting the precedent. If you allow this neighbor to do this, then the guy down the block that's renovating the house, that's going to rent to people with 6 cars, is going to say, well, no, I want another curb cut. And we're going to have, back to the whole thing where I said the last time, we're going to be living in the Bronx, where all you see is cars in the fronts of the houses instead of the suburban neighborhoods that we all moved into.
Thank you.
Motion to close.
Motion to close, public hearing. Close.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Sorry about that.
Peggy.
No, CYO.
It's one of the two.
Yeah.
It's just car warranty.
Okay, you guys want to discuss and... I'll turn it off. What do you guys discuss what you want to do?
motion to approve.
I'll poll the board. There's a motion to approve. Anybody else in favor of that?
Second?
I wish I could have seen the property more to get an idea. I did not really get a chance to examine the property like I most generally do, based upon a lot of the issues that was occurring in my family.
You can Google it.
What you can picture.
Yeah, I can picture it in my mind. My reservation has to do with, not the property owner. My reservation has to do with the tenants. And number one, I see in my own area that they just do their own thing. And if there's a snow event or whatever it is, they just come and park all their vehicles on the property. And all you have is vehicles on the property, you don't really have the property. So that's my concern about if you had grass here, what's going to prevent them from just doing their own thing? And you said you were going to try to put a barrier up.
Right.
Or something.
Or break something that makes it look nice, that it looks nice in front of the house. And I'm not the only one that's gonna
There's a
have a
motion and a
double
second, so I don't know.
curb cut.
You want to?
The
Oh, you said second.
only other question I have too is drainage issues. Is there any issues with the drainage,
No,
you know, with the macadam that would be put down?
no draining issues yet. Well, the inspectors and the building department, they said there are no draining issues.
All right, that's it. You want to make a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve.
You want to make a motion to approve? All those who want to
Does
have,
anybody second the motion?
anybody second your motion? No one? Anybody against?
Opposed?
Opposed? You opposed?
Opposed.
I'll have to go opposed.
Okay. All right, denied. 4-1.
And just for the record, it's, in terms of secret, it's a type 2 action, so there's no further environmental review, but it was denied in any event. But there's, you still have to mention secret. Yeah, one mention.
All right. That's it, right?
Yep.
All right, that's it. It's denied.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's so hard.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, next meeting? Wednesday, Thursday the 15th?
December 15th.
That's what I have on the calendar. I'm sure.
15th, fine.
Okay.
7:30.
Third?
You want maybe 7 instead, or 7:30 instead?
You want to make it 7 or 7:30?
Maybe it's up to you guys, I'll be here.
Do you guys have a preference?
Same time is fine.
7 works for me, I mean.
Either way.
You prefer 7:30?
No, anytime is fine, 7:30.
You want to do 7?
Andrew,
Yeah, I'll let you 7:30.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm coming in from New City.
No, then let's keep it, let's make it,
Thank
you know, comfortable for you, of course.
It says traffic.
No, then that's why we asked.
All right. Motion to close?
So we have to do a motion for the meeting, no?
Well, they just set the, not necessarily a motion, that's just to set the meeting and then motion to adjourn, or, yeah, close the meeting.
All in favor?
Right.